What if I told you that Apple's most ambitious product in years, the Vision Pro, might already be on the path to becoming one of the biggest flops in tech history? Stay with me, because this isn't just about a headset. It's about hype, psychology, and whether Apple can convince everyday people to strap a computer to their face. And trust me, once you hear the full story, you'll start questioning whether this futuristic device is destined to succeed or destined to fade away like so many forgotten gadgets before it. The Vision Pro was introduced with the kind of spectacle only Apple can deliver. Sleek visuals, dramatic music, and a promise that this headset would change the way we live, work, and play. Apple called it a spatial computer, not just a VR headset, because they wanted to separate it from the clunky, gamer-focused devices we've seen before. But here's the question. Does the average person really want to live inside a headset? Or is this just another case of Silicon Valley trying to sell us a future we didn't ask for? Let's break it down. The Vision Pro costs thousands of dollars. That's not just expensive, it's prohibitive. For most people, this isn't a casual purchase. It's a luxury item, and luxury items need to deliver something extraordinary. But what does the Vision Pro actually give you? You can watch movies on a giant virtual screen. You can browse the web in floating windows. You can FaceTime with digital avatars that look, well, let's be honest, kind of creepy. And you can play around with apps in a way that feels futuristic, but not necessarily practical. Does that sound like something worth several $1,000s? Or does it sound like a cool demo that loses its shine after a few weeks? Now here's where things get interesting. Apple has a history of taking existing ideas and making them mainstream. They didn't invent the smartphone, but the iPhone changed everything. They didn't invent tablets, but the iPad became the standard. They didn't invent smartwatches, but the Apple Watch dominates the market. So maybe, just maybe, the Vision Pro could follow the same path. But there's a big difference this time. Phones, tablets, and watches are things you can use anywhere, anytime, without isolating yourself from the world. The Vision Pro, on the other hand, requires you to put on a headset that literally separates you from reality. That's not a small hurdle, it's a massive one. Think about it. Would you wear the Vision Pro on a plane? Maybe. Would you wear it in your living room while your family's around? Possibly. But would you wear it in a coffee shop, at work, or walking down the street? Absolutely not. The Vision Pro is a product that demands isolation. And isolation is the opposite of what most people want from technology. We crave connection, convenience, and mobility. The Vision Pro offers immersion, but immersion comes at the cost of everything else. And let's talk about the weight. Early users have complained that the headset feels heavy after extended use. The battery life is limited. The external battery pack is awkward. And while the visuals are stunning, they're not perfect. For a product that costs this much, perfection isn't optional, it's required. Apple is asking people to pay a premium for a device that still feels like a prototype. That's a dangerous game. Dangerous game. Imagine 10 years from now. Will we look back at the Vision Pro as the beginning of a new era, the way we look at the first iPhone? Or will we look back at it the way we look at the Segway-on overhyped gadget that promised to change the world but ended up as a punchline? That's the real question. And the answer depends not just on Apple, but on us, the consumers. Because no matter how much Apple spends on marketing, no matter how sleek the design, if people don't adopt it, it fails. And here's where you come in. If you're watching this, you're probably curious about the future of tech. You might even be considering whether the Vision Pro is worth it. So let me ask you directly, do you think this headset has a future, or is it destined to flop? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I want to hear what you think. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe, because we're going to keep diving into the biggest questions in tech. And you don't want to miss what's coming next. Let's keep going. Apple is betting big on something called spatial computing. They believe that in the future, we won't just use screens, we'll live inside digital environments. That's a bold vision. But here's the problem. Most people are perfectly happy with the screens they already have. Phones, laptops, TVs, they're convenient, portable, and familiar. The The Vision Pro asks people to abandon that comfort and embrace something radically different. And history shows us that radical shifts don't happen overnight. They take years, sometimes decades, and often fail before they succeed. Look at 3D TVs. Remember when every company was pushing them as the future of home entertainment? People bought them, tried them, quickly realized they didn't want to wear glasses just to watch TV. The technology wasn't bad, just wasn't practical. The Vision Pro risks falling into the same trap. It's impressive, but impractical. And impractical products rarely survive in the mainstream. Another issue is social acceptance. Wearing a headset in public makes you look disconnected, even strange. Technology succeeds when it blends seamlessly into our lives. The iPhone became popular because it fit in your pocket and connected you to everything. AirPods became popular because they were small, wireless, and convenient. The Vision Pro, by contrast, is big, bulky, and isolating. That's not seamless, it's disruptive. And disruption isn't always a good thing, but let's be fair. The Vision Pro isn't just about today. It's about the future Apple wants to build. Maybe this first version isn't meant for everyone. Maybe it's meant for developers, early adopters, and tech enthusiasts who will experiment, create apps, and push the boundaries. Maybe Apple knows that the real success will come with the second or third generation, when the headset gets lighter, cheaper, and more practical. That's possible. But here's the catch. If the first version flops too hard, there might not be a second or third version. Companies can only sustain losses for so long before they move on. And let's not forget the competition. Meta has been pushing VR for years with the Quest line. Microsoft tried with HoloLens. Google tried with Glass. None of them became mainstream. Apple is entering a market littered with failures. And while Apple has a track record of succeeding where others failed, this time the obstacles are bigger than ever. Price, practicality, social acceptance, and comfort, all of these are working against the Vision Pro. So where does that leave us? On one hand, the Vision Pro is a technological marvel. It's sleek, powerful, and undeniably impressive. On the other hand, it's expensive, isolating, and impractical for everyday use. That's the paradox. And that's why so many people are asking, is this Apple's next big success, or is it their next big flop? The Vision Pro will probably find a niche audience. Tech enthusiasts, developers, maybe some businesses will use it for training or design, but mainstream adoption? That's going to be tough. Unless Apple can cut the price dramatically, improve the comfort, and make the experience more social. The Vision Pro risks becoming a product that people admire from afar, but never actually buy. And admiration doesn't pay the bills, so let's circle back to the original question. Is the Apple Vision Pro a flop? Right now, it's too early to say, but the warning signs are there. High price, limited practicality, social awkwardness, and competition from cheaper alternatives. If Apple can overcome those challenges, maybe the Vision Pro will succeed. But if they can't, this headset might go down in history as one of the most ambitious failures in tech. And that's why this conversation matters. Because the Vision Pro isn't just about Apple. It's about the future of technology and whether we're ready to embrace a world where digital and physical realities merge. Some people say this is inevitable. Others say it's a fantasy. What do you think? Is this the future, or is it a flop? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started.